Well, let's speak to James Dorsey, a senior fellow at the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies, focusing on the Middle East and joining us from Singapore. James, thanks for your time. It's really the legacy now. Mohammed Morsi no longer with us, president for a very short while, but having a big effect not only on Egypt. What will his legacy be?
Well, I think his legacy is that he represents everything that was good and bad of governance in the Middle East, and particularly in the Arab world, for the past half a century. So he's a product of a military regime. He represented the Muslim Brotherhood, which was the foremost opposition force, but also a force that, when in government, couldn't quite perform. And in many ways, Morsi was the wrong man and the wrong place at the moment that he was elected, and had to deal with enormous obstacles to his rule, both from the military, from the judiciary, and of course from Gulf states that opposed both the toppling of an autocrat in Egypt and the rise of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Abdel Fattah al-Sisi was at the White House not that long ago, urging President Trump to designate the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. What would Americans, or the president, I should say, and the administration be afraid of regarding this movement, which was represented politically by the Freedom and Justice Party in Egypt? But as you are saying, it goes far beyond Egypt, this movement.
Let's face it. First of all, the Muslim Brotherhood is not a unified movement. It really is a franchise or an umbrella. You have many organizations and parties across the Middle East and in other parts of the Muslim world that operate under an association with the Muslim Brotherhood, but do not take their orders from the Brotherhood. The fear of the Brotherhood is that it has always been, or not always, it has certainly in recent decades been a force that favored some form of democratic development in the Middle East, including some degree of popular sovereignty. And that is something that autocrats like Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, but also very much like the United Arab Emirates and the Saudis, oppose. And therefore, the push to try and get the Muslim Brotherhood banned in countries like the United States goes far beyond the Sisi visit to the White House. It's something that is very strongly supported by the Gulf states.
You said that Morsi was there in Egypt at the wrong time. How about now? How much does the country need what Morsi represented?
Well, I think what the country certainly needs is a far more transparent, accountable leadership and governance, which it is not getting under al-Sisi. Now, fact of the matter is, and we don't really know at this point, but as a matter of principle, the Muslim Brotherhood is one of the very few still remaining organized forces. They've suffered significantly in the last 6 years since the 2013 military coup. So we really also don't know how much is left of the Brotherhood within Egypt itself. But ultimately what the country needs is accountable, transparent leadership and governance.
James, really appreciated. James Dorsey speaking to us from Singapore, reacting to the death and now subsequently the burial of Mohammed Morsi in Egypt. Thank you, James.